Imagine biting into a perfectly shaped cookie, maybe a star, a heart, or even a dinosaur ant, wondering how that shape came to be. Have you ever thought about the tiny tool behind it? Today, we are diving into the wild, surprising, and downright delicious history of cookie cutters. From ancient molds to modern 3D printed wonders, this story is packed with twists you will not believe. Stick around, because by the end, you will never look at your holiday cookies the same way again. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we are exploring the evolution of cookie cutters, a tool so simple yet so genius that it has shaped not just dough, but cultures, traditions, and even technology. We will travel back thousands of years to their origins, see how they transformed over time, and discover why they matter more than you might think. Plus, I've got some wild facts that will make you the star of your next baking party. Before we jump in, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you do not miss any of our deep dives into the stuff you love. Ready? Let us roll out this tasty tale. Let us start at the very beginning, way before your grandma's gingerbread men hit the oven. Cookie cutters, or at least their ancestors, go back thousands of years. Picture this. Ancient Egypt, around 3000 BCE, bakers there used flat, carved wooden molds to press shapes into dough. These were not just for fun, they often had symbols like hieroglyphs or animals to honor gods or mark special events. Fast forward to ancient Rome, and they took it up a notch with clay molds for breads and cakes. Now, these early tools were not exactly cookie cutters as we know them. Cookies, those sweet, portable treats, did not really exist yet. Back then, dough was more about survival than dessert. But the idea of shaping food, that stuck around. By the Middle Ages in Europe, things started to get sweeter. Sugar became more available, and bakers began experimenting with small, spiced cakes. They used hand-carved wooden molds, often with religious figures like saints or crosses, especially around Christmas. Here is where metal enters the scene. Around the 15th century, tinsmiths in Europe started crafting simple metal cutters, think circles or rough squares. These were not fancy, but they were durable. People could reuse them, and that was a game changer. Bakers in Germany, especially, loved them for their Lebkuchen, those spiced honey cakes we still see today. So, the cookie cutter's origin. It is a mix of practicality, creativity, and a little bit of sugar. Okay, fast forward to the 18th and 19th centuries, cookie cutters really start to evolve. In colonial America, tinsmiths got super creative. They hammered out shapes like hearts, stars, and even chickens by hand. These were not mass-produced yet, so every cutter was unique. Families treasured them, passing them down like heirlooms. Have you ever seen an old, dented cutter at a flea market? That is history right there. Then came the Industrial Revolution. Boom. Suddenly, machines could stamp out metal cutters fast and cheap. By the late 1800s, companies like Ann Clark in the US started selling sets of cutters in all kinds of shapes: trees, bells, animals, you name it. This was when holiday baking became a big deal. Christmas, Halloween, Easter, every celebration got its own cookie shape. Metal stayed king, but the designs, they exploded. Jump to the 20th century and materials started shifting. Plastic cutters hit the scene in the 1950s, lightweight, colorful, and affordable. Kids loved them, and honestly, who does not? But the real innovation came with technology. In the 1990s, cookie cutter kits with interchangeable pieces popped up. Think one handle, tons of shapes. And today, we have got 3D printers churning out custom cutters in hours. Want a cookie shaped like your dog's face? Done. The evolution from wood to tin to plastic to digital lit is mind-blowing. So why do cookie cutters matter beyond the kitchen? They are cultural icons. In Germany, those early metal cutters tied into Christmas markets, families still use them for tradition. In Mexico, during Día los Muertos, bakers shape sugar skulls with cutters to honor the dead. It is not just about food, It is about connection. Over in the US, cookie cutters became symbols of home and celebration. Think about it every December. Millions of people pull out their cutters for Santa's cookies. It is a ritual. And it is not just holidays. Schools use them for crafts. Couples make heart-shaped cookies for Valentine's. Date is woven into how we celebrate. Even pop culture loves them Star Wars cutters. Anyone. They also tell stories about who we are. Vintage cutters from the 1930s might show Depression-era simplicity, basic shapes, no frills. Today's wild designs, they reflect our love for personalization. Cookie cutters are not just tools, they are time capsules of our values and creativity. All right, time for some fun stuff. Did you know the world's largest cookie cutter is over 10 feet tall? It was made in 2016 in Missouri, a giant gingerbread man. Imagine the cookie that thing could make. Another wild one. In the 1800s, some cutters doubled as stencils for painting walls. Talk about multitasking. Here is a quirky one. The first patented cookie cutter in the US was a simple circle, filed in 1869. Boring, right? But it started everything. Oh, and collectors go nuts for this. Stuff some rare vintage cutters sell for hundreds of dollars online. Who knew dough shaping could be so valuable? So, there you have it, the epic journey of cookie cutters. From ancient molds to high-tech printers, they have shaped more than just cookies. They have shaped traditions, memories, and even our kitchens. Next time you press one into dough, think about the centuries of innovation behind it. It is pretty amazing how something so small can hold so much history. If you loved this deep dive, give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments what is your favorite cookie shape. Subscribe if you have not already, because we have got more quirky histories coming your way. Share this with your baking buddies. Tooth, they will thank you. That is all for today, folks. Thanks for hanging out with me on this tasty trip through time. I will see you in the next video. Until then, keep baking, keep creating, and keep being awesome. Bye for now.